As a DIYer, the first thing you want to establish is what size gutter downspouts do you have on your home. If you take a dollar bill and you cover your gutter downspout, if the dollar bill covers it, that means you have a 2x3 downspout. Now, the other size that's really popular in the USA is a 3x4 downspout, and the dollar bill won't be wide enough and it'll fit inside it. That's how you determine whether you have a 2x3 or a 3x4 gutter downspout. Now, here's a vented cleanout, and you can see by the size of it, it's quite large, and it makes it really hard to install. We went ahead and we designed a vented cleanout that slips on a 2x3, or if you have a 3x4, you can buy the cleanout for the 3x4. Now, we're going to show you the easiest way to install an underground buried downspout system. You don't have to rent a sod cutter. You don't have to have a backhoe. You don't need a mini skid loader. You don't need plywood. And you do not need a crew of 6 men. We're going to show you with a narrow shovel and a hacksaw how easy it is to do an underground buried downspout system. There's not a residential downspout in the USA that overwhelms a 3-inch pipe. We're going to run a 3-inch pipe so we can go right over top of the sprinkler system. We don't want to have to relocate all the sprinkler lines. It's unnecessary. A 3-inch line is plenty. The 4-inch pipe came out before the 3-inch in the corrugated pipe market. Decades before there was a 3-inch pipe, there was a 4-inch pipe, so it became industry standards. Now that we have a 3-inch pipe and corrugated, it is the ideal pipe for underground buried downspout systems. You want to have an inline catch basin, a pop-up emitter, and about 24 to 25 feet of 3-inch pipe. This is the ideal DIY kit. This is a professional grade heavy-duty DIY kit, purpose-built for the homeowner. You have your inline catch basin with a sump bottom. You have your pop-up. Everything's already set up to connect and just snap easy. No tools required to the corrugated pipe. We're going to give dozens of helpful tips, so don't skip around. You're not going to want to miss any of these details. Make sure to use a really narrow shovel. There's no need for a wide shovel. You're going to disturb too much of your turf. Again, you're going to be going right through the utilities, right through the irrigation lines. Nice narrow shovel and a shallow dig is all that's required. You don't have to turn this into something more. Try to get 1% slope if you can. It's not a big deal if you're flat for like 5 or 10 feet through a certain section, as long as it's not negative pitch, which means you're going uphill. You want water to be running downhill. And again, it's okay to be flat through a certain section. If you want to know how to measure for slope, I'm going to put in the description how to measure slope for under $5. I did a video a while back on that. One of the many advantages to corrugated pipe is you can weave through all the obstacles. You can dip, turn, serpentine, pivot. You can navigate around all the different obstacles in your yard along with utilities and an underground sprinkler system with ease, without glue, without tape, without any fittings, just one piece from the gutter downspout to the inline catch basin, and we're going to show you every detail to that. Now, we went ahead and we already put on the vented cleanout. You can see how nice this is. We want to leave just enough room from the ground so that we can connect the corrugated pipe and then do what we call refer to as a sweeping 90. You want a nice soft 90, kind of a sweeping 90. You can see how easy this connects to the corrugated pipe. Everything was built that way. This was a purpose built for DIYers so that it was super easy, no screwdrivers needed. We wanted to minimize the tools. All you need is a hacksaw to cut the pipe when needed, and we'll show you that here in a second. Everything is a quick connect, and once it's connected, it will not come apart. It's a barbed connection. I love this. There's no fittings at all. It's just one piece of pipe. That means it can't come apart. You can never have failure. It connects right here, and then the entire underground run is one piece. There's no fittings, no connections. There can be no leaks. And a lot of times when ground settles, and especially in the north when there's freeze and thaw and the ground moves, you can end up with pipe coming apart. We're right over top of the sprinkler system. No issues there. We got our 1% slope, just one continuous run Now make sure you do pick up a hacksaw if you do not own one. It just makes this job so much easier. Now we just wanted to show you a 4-inch pipe next to the 3-inch pipe. We keep telling you how it's 60% more labor, 60% more excavation, not to mention all the hassle and moving sprinkler lines. You can see how this 4-inch pipe don't fit through here. You could see just the amount of work it would take to dig this trench down bigger and go through those sprinkler lines, have to reroute them to make that 4-inch line fit. We're going to pull the 3-inch line up out of the trench, and we're going to put the 4-inch line in just to prove a point. You can see how the 4-inch line is right at grass level. And, of course, the sprinkler lines are going to have to be rerouted. They're going to have to be moved. There's no way this 4-inch line could be installed without major excavation, and you're going to have to do modifications to your irrigation system. Not to mention you're going to get into utilities. You can see the top of the pipes right at grade level. That is no good. So we pulled that up and out of there, and then we're going to show you how deep the 3-inch pipe is in the exact same trench, laying on top of the sprinkler system with no modifications. And you can see I got pretty big hands. I'm going to show you, we're definitely a few inches under that turf grass. Super easy, narrow shovel, hacksaw, that's all you need. Now the inline catch basin, I usually like to see the inline catch basin put at around 7 feet, 10 feet, no more than that. You want to catch all the shingle gravel. Shingle gravel's coming off the roof. You want it to be pushed into your inline catch basin. If you have a shingled roof, you got to have one. It also helps if you got tree seeds and tree buds and you end up with a lot of little debris like that goes through the leaf filter. The leaf filter is just for really big debris, like leaves and little twigs and sticks that come off the roof. You can see how easy it is to pack all the dirt in around this pipe. Now, another thing to note, you're going to need most of the dirt that you excavated out. Unlike a 4-inch line, where you're going to end up with several wheelbarrows worth of dirt that you got to find a place for, you're going to have to get rid of those spoils. A 4-inch pipe, this displaces way too much area. Now check out how quick and easy this connects. We came up with this coupler. It takes you from 3-inch corrugated to a pop-up to your catch basin. We made that coupler just so that we can have kits like this for the DIYer. We wanted to use more 3-inch pipe, and the industry didn't have the parts, so we're making the parts ourselves. You can see we drilled a few holes in the bottom of the pop-up. That's so after there's a rain and you're done moving all the bulk water away from your house, if there's any water sitting in that little elbow, it can just leach away into the subsoil. We're going to put a riser on the inline catch basin, and that's because we're going to raise the grade right here because the generator pad has been undermining through some erosion. We'll show you how we're going to do that. We'll explain that as well. We also want to show you the height in which we set the pop-up emitter. Make sure it's not at turf level or grade level. You want it to be below the grass. You want it to be at dirt level. That way the lawnmower doesn't break the pop-up emitter. This is the proper way of installing underground buried downspout system to a pop-up emitter. You can see again, it's not flat and it's not at turf level. You don't want it with the grass blades. You want it level with the dirt down at the roots. Now keep in mind when you remove your sod, you want to cut 2 lines parallel with one another, and then you take your shovel and you just cut like 18-inch chunks, if you will. And then you go ahead and you get under it and you just put those little divots to the side. Now look how easy that goes together, just like a puzzle. Now, just like I told you, the 3-inch line is not going to leave you with a lot of extra dirt. This is only a half wheelbarrow of dirt, and we got the line fully installed. Now we're going to use that dirt right here where there was some erosion and it started to expose the underneath of the generator pad. That's why we put a riser on the inline catch basin. Going to take this half wheelbarrow of dirt, go ahead and build that area up a little bit. That's it. That is it. We just got rid of all the spoils. If this would have been a 4-inch line, there would have been 4 or 5 of those wheelbarrows to get rid of, and I don't even know what you do with that if you're a homeowner with a car or a minivan. All right, so let's go through the system and some final details that you need to note. You can see right here we went over the electrical that feeds the generator, went under that gas line, and there's also utilities running to the house. On the side here, there was all the mechanicals. We have the gas meter, we have the electric meter. Didn't have to worry about it. We weren't digging that deep. We were staying shallow. Right there's that inline catch basin with the riser. We raised the grade right there. You can see we put the turf back together, and we're right down at the pop-up emitter. Now, we did have to trim some of the gutter downspout so that we would get the perfect height off of the ground so that we can do that sweeping 90 with the 3-inch pipe. Use the hacksaw for that as well. Again, that's the only tool you need, that and a narrow shovel. Now notice how far down the gutter downspout, look at that. See where that's at? That's perfect. Make sure it doesn't stick down below the top portion of the door here. As long as you're not below that, you're fine. So that'll help you to determine the right height for that. Now remember, you can remove the center of that screen so that you can flush the shingle gravel down to the inline catch basin. A lot of shingle gravel is just going to fall through this grate. We wanted this grate to be coarse. We didn't want it to be fine because it'll plug. It'll plug with tree buds and all kinds of pollen. Let all that little stuff just flush through the system. It's not going to be a problem. We just want to catch the big stuff. Super easy door to work. Super easy just to check this in the fall. Clean it out once in a while of leaves. You don't have to get on a ladder. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.